Hi, this is Johannes from Cult of Luna, and this is Evil Greed's Distro Picks. Sunn, life metal. I remember how I discovered Sunn. I went to a show, must have been somewhere in mid-2000. I had just exited a bus from Oslo to Stockholm, and then I didn't know anything of them. I had never heard anything. They were standing there in cloaks, which actually was an idea I had for Cult of Luna back in the 90s, but they were actually doing it. We never did. But it felt like, I just came from a bus ride, 8-hour bus ride, and it felt like I was run over by a bus from this guy. I actually had to take like a 15-minute break because I loved it, but like my brain was just a mush after that bus ride, and like, oh. And so I kept track of them for quite a long time, and for no real reason, I kind of lost track of them. And then I discovered this record. It came out a couple of years ago, 2019. And the same thing with other bands that have been going for such a long time, that, especially when it comes to Sunn, how they kind of rediscovered themselves without losing the essence of themselves. And this is a bit more, I cannot use the word like songy, because it's still Sunn, it's like drone, of course, but it feels like a fresh take of what they did previously, which was basically just noise and one chord change every third minute. Now they have one chord change every 1 minute. No, but it definitely felt like they were doing something new and fresh. And so I think it was our previous guitar player, Eric, that got me into this life metal album. And yeah, so a great one. Oh yes, My Bloody Valentine, Loveless. I was so surprised when I found it here because I thought it was out of print a long time ago, but apparently they made a reprint, and if you don't know of them, you should. I mean, if you're interested in music, or if you're interested where all your bands got their inspiration from, this is the record. There's so many myths around the recording of this album that I think they're all just over exaggerations. One thing I don't understand, how they were able to make songs out of noise without it sounding like noise. It's like they're swimming through a puddle of lava or something like that, but still it makes sense as catchy songs. One myth I heard was that they did like 50 guitar tracks and something like that, which is crazy. Like, it can't be true. But also keeping in mind when it came out, like early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I might be looking like somebody that don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, and this has been a huge inspiration for Cult of Luna, especially during the mid-2000s, when we were kind of trying to find our way of doing our own thing. And there was also Eric that got me into this album, our previous guitar player that got me into this, and it's like a staple record. It needs to be there. So I'm taking this home whether you like it or not. This is Ruth Rundle, Engine of Hell. So the last tour we did before the world ended in 2020 was with Emma in the US, and she was doing the tour by herself, just her and an acoustic guitar. And I remember we did the last show in Mexico City, and her friend Dylan, and I think he played with her too. He's an amazing drummer too. He was standing on the side of the stage, and we were like looking at each other, and I was like tearing up, like I don't know how she does this. It's just she and a guitar, and I've seen her every night now for I can't even remember how many shows we did, and still like it hits me. And she has this powerful presence and this ability to hit those notes, both on the piano, as in this record, and the guitar, or and the emotional notes that just it feels like a punch in the stomach every night. And this record actually came out after that tour, and she's been very, very productive. And I think this is, even though her music always been very emotional, I mean, all things are emotional, but for me it's been very kind of struck a very, very sad note, and which makes me cry, obviously. This is even darker. This is the dark side of Emma, and I was just thinking about saying maybe this is a good record to discover her with, but like all her records, she's such a wide artist. I mean, you could start with this, you could start with previous albums too, but yeah, don't miss this. And Splinters of an Ever-Changing Face. So there's a lot of brutal metal zone bands out there, but these guys are very, very special. So I play music, I write, and I lift weights. And this record has been on my heavy lifting playlist and has pushed me to do some real PRs. Actually, like me and my friends, we have this. Me and my lifting friends, we meet up every 6 months to just have a good time, hang out, and try to set some PRs. And for every lift we do, we get to choose a song. And I can remember Pariah, the second song. That's been one of the songs that I've been choosing. I also have Bolt Thrower. Like it needs to be able to push you to do the extra kilos. And but seriously, from a musical note, there is a lot of bands playing this kind of music, so it's hard to stand out to do something original, and they're the best by far. And this record, yeah, I know it inside and out, like since I was into it like on a daily basis. Don't have it on vinyl though. I have now. That's coming home with me.
You're fucking
Death is also a band that I had to rediscover. During like the 90s, when I kind of had, I was like a sponge, listening to all kind of music, death metal, rap, punk hard. Like, it was such an interesting period of my life, and I saw these death T-shirts all the time, but I never listened to them. Not until like a few years ago. I mean, of course, it's impossible to go through a life without listening to death, but I really didn't got into them until a few years ago. And I actually think I ordered a death T-shirt from you guys too. Actually, no, I ordered 2 death T-shirts from you because my first one got destroyed in the laundry. Now it's my daughter's. And I didn't really understand the importance that death had for the technical aspect of the death metal, whatever you want to call it, heavy music, and how it changed from like Scream Bloody Gore to Human. Quite different records, but definitely also something that needs to be in any record collection that have any that have any aspirations to have the staples of heavy music. Death needs to be in it. If you don't know this record, you should. And I will be completely honest. This is Deafheaven, by the way. If you have Deafheaven, Sunbather. I think when we were, there was this discussion about us going to a US tour a long time ago. Must have been after this was released. And I was sent a lot of different bands, like, what do you think about these? Do you want to tour with these guys? And one of them was Deafheaven, Sunbather. I didn't get into it. I didn't. Which I regret now, because, I mean, a couple of years after, I don't know why. There's a couple of genres that I'm very protective of for no reason whatsoever, and black metal is one of them. And I don't know why I didn't. That was probably the thing that it clashed. Like, black metal should be like this, not in the like colorful way of what they did. And then I let that go and just listened to the music. And I will not put this to that pile until I've said or how much I respect Deafheaven. Like, I love Infinite Granite. I love that, and not only the record in itself. I love how a band dare to do new things. Like, dare to do way more than I ever have. And I think they took the right decision to go that direction, to explore different fields, and they should definitely have credit, or get credit for taking that bold decision, and also not only taking that decision but executing it in such an amazing way. But still, this album is such an amazing piece of art. Alex, or A.A. Williams, As the Moon Rest. We've been on tour with Alex, and I did some vocals on her previous albums, and it really, she's also one of those artists that do things that have been done before but in a new way. And I think she's on the path of doing something really, really incredible. Unfortunately, there's so many artists out there that do something incredible but don't get the recognition that she deserves. But I watched her last summer at our Tandem Festival, and really felt like she finally got some traction. And I really think that she right now is getting way more attention than the attention she deserves. But also this is just the beginning. And this album is also one that I've been listening to a lot. There might be another collaboration with her on some record that I appear on in the, I wouldn't say near future, but there might be, well, we recorded some stuff with her that's not been released yet.
Myself